Alright, I already have my pumpkin pie video, now it's time for sweet potato pie. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is make my pie crust. Now, I already made this in my last video. Do you really need to see me make it again? Well, just in case, here's a quick recap. I have some all-purpose flour, some salt, and some cold butter that I cubed up. I threw that into the flour and the salt, and I just tossed it all around. And then I crushed it with my fork because I don't have a pastry cutter. And it's a lot easier this way anyway. I tossed it around after I put in some ice-cold water. And now I'm just kneading it until I get a nice smooth dough. After you shape it and flatten it out a little bit, go ahead and wrap it in some plastic wrap. Pop that in the fridge for about half an hour. While it's chilling, go ahead and preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. By the time it's preheated, your dough should be ready to go. On a floured work surface, I'm taking a rolling pin and flattening out my dough until it's nice and smooth, and then I'm going to put that into my glass pie dish, and I'm just going to shape it and crimp it up. If you want more detail, again, go ahead and watch my last video. I'll put that in the description box down below. I'm going to take a fork and poke holes at the bottom so that steam can escape while it's baking. And then I'm taking some crinkled up parchment paper, putting in some garbanzo beans, or you can use baking beans or just anything to hold the paper down. And this is going to go in a 375 degree Fahrenheit oven for 25 minutes. After 25 minutes, take it out, and then take the parchment and the beans out, and this is going to go back into the oven for another 15 minutes. After that, take it out and preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're on to the sweet potatoes. I'm taking 2 large sweet potatoes and I'm just washing them first. I'm putting them on a baking sheet lined with parchment and I'm poking holes in them. Now, these potatoes were extra firm. If you can find softer potatoes, that'd be fantastic, but if yours are firm like mine, these are probably going to go into the oven for a little bit longer. But make sure you poke holes in that, and that's going to go into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour. And after an hour, I took them out and I poked them more with my fork, and they were still a little on the firm side, so I popped them in for another 20 minutes. But make sure you keep an eye on it. It may not have to be as long as I did it. Now, these are perfect. They're nice and soft and they're ready to go. And the skin should be very easy to peel off, but make sure you let these cool first, because right now they're very, very hot and I'm burning my little fingers, and yeah, we do not want to do that. So make sure you let them cool off first. Anyway, after I'm peeling off the skin, I can finally put that into a bowl and I can start mashing these up with a potato masher. And then after that, once this is all mashed up, we are not done yet. You want these to be completely pureed. So I'm going to take an electric mixer. You could probably use a stand mixer if you like, but I feel that the electric mixer is better because it's going to puree it a lot better. You're going to get a smoother texture and a better end result with your pie. While you're trying to get as much chunks out as possible, make sure you scrape your bowl down a little bit as you go and continue beating the crud out of this with your electric mixer. And then after everything is looking pretty smooth and ready to go, now it's time to add our ingredients. Now, before we get to that, lower your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. First thing I'm adding to my potato puree is an egg and 2 egg yolks, some granulated sugar, some light brown sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, salt, some cornstarch, some vanilla extract, a little bit of lemon juice, some butter, and I'm also adding some milk, not cream this time. And I'm just going to take a whisk and mix this all up. And I know this looks a little bit similar to the pumpkin pie, but there is a big difference between these two, both in taste, texture, and most of the ingredients I used. And once this batter is completely smooth, it's time to pour this into our pre-baked pie crust. Now, one thing that I noticed about this custard is that it's a little bit on the thicker side than the pumpkin pie was. And because of that, you don't really have to worry about tapping out any air bubbles or spilling it in any way because it pretty much just stays on its own. And once it's all smoothed out, this is going to go in a 325 degree Fahrenheit oven for 70 to 75 minutes. And yeah, this is looking pretty good too. So I let this chill overnight in the fridge after it's cooled off completely, and it cooled off for about 4 hours. And like all custard pies, they're even better when they're very cold. And I'm ready to take a slice out of this, so let's try this out. And the end result, you're probably waiting for me to give you the answer, which one is better, sweet potato or pumpkin. And I don't know how many people are going to turn against me on this one, because I'm always praising pumpkin. I'm always one of those crazy people that waits for the pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks every year. But guys, I think I'm on team sweet potato. This was absolutely amazing. I love that strong nutmeg flavor. The sweet potato itself has a different taste and a texture than the pumpkin does. It's just its own thing, and I absolutely love it. And I just love sweet potatoes in general, but I think even if you don't like sweet potatoes, you'll really get enjoyment out of this pie. And really, that crust just ties it all together very well. But this is a pie crust that's great with any pie. So, guys, make this. It's really amazing. Make it for the fall, make it for Thanksgiving, because I know I'm making this for Thanksgiving. Alright, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.